I'm Stoycos, and I'm an instructor here at Your Dog's Friend. I've been training here for almost 9 years, and I love Your Dog's Friend. It's a fabulous organization. We offer classes here. We offer lots of free workshops by really excellent trainers, and lots of free online information. So what I want to do today is show you a demonstration of loose leash walking, how to teach your dog to walk nicely on a leash. So I'm here with Junebug, who has done a little bit of training, but she's just a puppy, so it's gonna, we're working on it. With leash walking, what you want to do is teach your dog that if they're pulling, they don't get to go anywhere. But if they're walking on a nice loose leash in this area near you, they get to keep walking. So one of the issues that comes up is when a dog pulls us, we tend to pull back against them, which makes them pull harder against us, which makes us pull harder, and we get into a tug of war. And that's really not a very good way to get a good leash walk. So my job is to keep the leash as loose as possible. If Junie here decides to pull, I simply stop moving. And she'll figure out very quickly where the end of the leash is, and I'll find a way to get her back to where I want her to be. So I don't want to reward pulling, but I do want to reward nice leash walking with a nice loose leash. So what I'm going to do is reward her over here where I want her to be, just like that. I'm using a clicker. A clicker is used to mark a good behavior, and right now I'm going to be using the clicker to mark when Junie's paying attention to me, and also just when the leash is nice and loose. And that's going to give her very clear information about what I want. What I want to do is make sure that I'm holding things properly to make this easy. I've got the leash in my right hand. I am right-handed, so if you're a left-hander, you might want to switch this. And I'm going to have the clicker in that leash hand. Hey, Junie. Okay. And I've got some treats over here in my left hand, and I'm going to walk June on the side where the treats are. And you see, it makes it easy for me to just deliver the treat right at my side. And I've also taken up some slack in the leash. If Junie gets too far away from me while we're working on this in the beginning, she's probably not going to pay much attention to me. So I want to keep her a little closer, but you'll notice, even though it's short, it's loose. It's always loose, okay? So what I'm going to do is start to move and click and treat her just as I'm doing right now, but for moving with me. You ready, June? Oops, I dropped a treat. Here we go. So when I start out, I'm just taking a couple of steps, click and treat, couple of steps, click and treat. But as she gets better and better at it, I can begin to stretch that out. So in the beginning of your walks, you're going to be clicking and treating pretty quickly, but as they get the hang of it, you'll be able to stretch it out. Now, I'm using really fantastic treats. I've got little pieces of chopped up turkey, which clearly Junie likes, and I want to use those kinds of things when I'm working in distracting places. Usually when we're working with our dogs outside, it's pretty distracting. I think leash walking is one of the harder things to train simply because you're taking a dog outside into a really exciting place and you're saying, hey dog, you can't go anywhere, you have to stay with me. And that's a pretty hard thing, so we have to be understanding that it's a hard thing for them to do. All right, so we're going to walk a little further between our clicks and treats. Here we go. Let's go this way. We make it lots of fun. And you'll discover that dogs love backwards movement, so I can get her to follow me anywhere. Good girl. Over here. There we go. And that leash is never tightened. It's always loose. If I pull, she pulls against it. I don't want to do that. I'm going to add a distraction so you can see what happens if June does try to pull. I want to make sure I'm holding the leash nice and still. And you notice I'm holding it against my body. That keeps me from pulling back, and also it lets her know where the end of the leash is. So instead of yanking on her, I'm going to find another way to get her to come to me. Good girl. Okay, and on we go. We will try again. Good girl. There we go. So if you come to some of our classes at Your Dog's Friend, you'll get a chance to work on leash walking with your dog. We practice in here in the training center, and we also have outdoor classes where you can practice out in the real world. So I hope you'll join us.